Heroic team has to take a step forward, and that's a really hard step to take because the next one is championships.
Yeah, and that's obviously what this kind of a lineup is geared for. That's where they want to get to. So they're gonna have to put in a lot of hard work. Copy is still behind him after all these years. We talk about the the anniversary here, the birthday, I guess, 10-year birthday for CSGO. Yep. But God B was a legend in 1.6.
Way back.
It's crazy.
I think I was looking it up over the break as well. I think his first recorded game on like Liquipedia is like 2005 or 2006, but I just know that can't be accurate. Like he was playing before that for sure. Yeah, they're just games that have missed the record books.
And obviously behind Heroic exists, so we have,
yeah, we've got it all.
Deep history here.
There's a cool mix in this matchup of the old and the new, and we're on the new nuke. Newish. Not really new.
Well, by history, sure it is. I mean, I can get behind it. Big are going to be on the CT side, Heroic on the T side. And Searson, surely one of the secret weapons, or maybe not so secret for Big, with that AWP. A nice flashbang to set it up. Farvan is down and out. Tessus will find Tabson. That is one hell of a flashbang to enter with.
Oh my lord. Peekaboo.
Crimbo. Just a little lurking in the vents.
Yeah, look, let's talk a little bit more about Big, because this is kind of a cool, I mean, this pistol round was so quick, it's already over, but, I mean, when you look at, like, the way this team is made with Tabson as the in-game leader who's been in CSGO for a long time, obviously, and kind of, you know, getting towards the later stages, I would guess, of his career, potentially, and Godby behind them, you have kind of a world where Big is sort of like bringing up the next generation of German players. Like, Tabson's great for his firepower, but it's his leadership that they need, and they're essentially putting the onus on these young stars, these young potential players out of Germany to be, like, the main skill focal point, right? Like, those 3 to 4 players on Big are the ones that they're expecting to take the reins and provide the firepower.
And that feels like a project that just has to succeed because of...
Yeah.
I mean, the legacy of German Counter-Strike goes back a really, really long ways.
Very scary teams and players, obviously, in 1.6.
Yep.
I'm not sure about how they did in Source at all, but, I mean, there's a long history of German players who were so good at 1.6.
You want to see that respected in the modern age. Yeah, it'd be amazing if they could start to really build that up. And they have been for a long time. On the Big side, so.
Well, and also think of it this way too, like it's kind of an odd juxtaposition, this big organization of where we're seeing teams like Vitality, and obviously FaZe is the big one you can play. We're seeing all these teams kind of transition to a mindset of international rosters. We get a bigger pool of players to pick from, bigger opportunity to find some gems, some diamonds in the rough. And Big is over here like, nope, we're really dedicated to German Counter-Strike. You know, we want our legacy to be that we're going to bring Germany back to the top of Counter-Strike.
I want them to succeed in that, because I think that would change the landscape quite a bit for European Counter-Strike for sure if they could be successful. So, be interested to see that. Early find on the Keto out there by the secret stairs. Nice little boost up in ramp will allow the scout to move around on Searson. He's had some scout moments too, so maybe a little bit tricky now that he's down. Oh, what a find, Tabson. Just walking up right behind Tessus. That is incredible.
Did Stown shoot? I think Tabson knows he's over here. I think he has the information. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Heroic could even drop down vents and really put a lot of pressure on Tabson to make a huge Heroic stand. No pun intended.
28 seconds. Smoke up. Gonna try and see if they get their way through. This could work too. Farvan's moved out into the lobby. 19 seconds now, but they're at least gonna get the bomb here. Nice headshot. Oh, you could tell he slowed it down. He was ready to get that aim, and he wants Cadian as well. He has the right idea. Very, very patient play, but Cadian's going to be a little bit quicker on the trigger, and he'll get Tabson on top of it. So now it's a 2 versus 3 here, and a little bit of a kill with Crimbo there. MP9 in hand. Still in a weird position here, Heroic. That bomb is only just planted, so they gotta be careful. Crimbo, he's on the tear, a double kill, and Cadian on his own, found by Searson. And that is a tremendous amount of work. Big are gonna be excited about this.
That's what they want out of Crimbo. That's exactly why they bring him into this roster. A lot of the guys, Godby and Tabson, have both had great words saying Crimbo has the potential to be one of the best German Counter-Strike players, as we just discussed the whole situation in that region, but this is him delivering some huge kills. And Heroic gets beat by a little bit of trickery, a little bit of sneakiness. I don't know why I thought Shush had the bomb. That was a crazy moment for me, but good shooting with the deagle from Crimbo.
Yeah, real good. I appreciate it, obviously, when people go for the crazy deagle flicks, but sometimes it's really just something satisfying about people waiting the extra 2 milliseconds and then really securing that headshot. Looks good, too. So, Heroic punched right in the face. And gonna be down to some pistols. Single HE to blow up the door over there, but otherwise, should be an easy round for Big to win here. They even upgrade, well, just the single AK, right? But it gives them a little bit more to work with. Hopefully, eventually, it'll give them the AWP on Citizen. That's what we all want, really.
Yeah.
Secretly what we're here for.
Yeah, it really is. I'm excited to see him get that out. Here he is with the M4. Grabs one before they drop down. Is traded off, unfortunately. That's an M4 that can be recovered, but Heroic don't really have any utility to move forward, so tabseN in a good position to put a stop to this, and the bomb rolls out towards him. So this round seemingly starting to slip away from Heroic.
Cadian would love a mistake. But tabseN being very, very careful, and that reposition is not anywhere in Cadian's mind.
No, you'll never ever expect that angle. So 2-1 in the favor of Big. You gotta, I mean, look, you gotta say there's if we stick to the Big conversation, there's got to be a large amount of confidence that the players in the organization have in syrsoN to kind of work through some of his struggles he's had transitioning to LAN play, transition to big event play.
Yeah.
And we saw some of that rewarded briefly in small moments in Cologne.
Yeah.
He had some games there that made you say, okay, this is some of that skills that we've seen in all the online events starting to translate over. So, I mean, they need him to kind of deliver as the AWPer. AWPer is being so important in today's Counter-Strike. He's got to find that ability to kind of step up at these events.
And I'm sure it's like an active topic inside of the team, so they must have some confidence that, you know, given a little bit more time, they can really get there. And he is crazy when he's up and running, so it's hard to sort of, if you had to say, okay, well, if we don't trust in syrsoN to really do it on LAN, then we'll find someone else. Well, then who could that be right now? It's hard to figure out. They had a couple of players, I think, that could have been interesting on the sort of academy side, but I don't know. Some of them might have moved to Valorant in the meantime. It's tricky out there to find AWPers of this caliber. 4th round. TeSeS doesn't want to take a peek out there. Heroic would love to answer back really early on. And if you look at the money on the big side, if they can get this swift comeback and tie up the scoreline at 2-2, then the party might end a little bit early for the big side. tabseN, a little bit early on that peak for Stown, and he's going to be going down. That's
He might have wanted to peek before the smoke plumes, hoping someone's going to be like caught in transition or just frozen by the smoke about to pop. We see that frequently. Obviously didn't work here. Crimbo holds the line. Dink, but can't complete the kill. It's the Galil who wins out at the end of the day. And who drops down? It's Keto. Over towards Toxic side. However, Heroic want to challenge under Heaven and clear out any defense that's there. Nobody in position to get punished. Look at the nades for Heroic. They've got nothing left. No smokes to hide in this for this plant. No smokes to block off any of the doors or windows. And there's going to be 2 big players downstairs already. Keto and tabseN.
Especially with Keto's position back here. You wish you had a Molotov or anything to get rid of him, but great shot taking down Jabby, and now he can just buy time. Slowly but surely. Shush is going to be out of it. tabseN showing up at the defense down here, and this is just slowly slipping out of Heroic's hands. Cadian coming through with a good headshot, but we've got 18 seconds, and it's a 1 versus 3. He's going to go straight for the bomb plant, but they are on top of him. tabseN running for it, and he'll find him. Great job. Really nice read on the big side.
Yeah, even stops the plant. That's great job from Keto. That's phenomenal trust in tabseN, who's calling out, hey, I'm here. I'm at control side. I'm at window. I'm at doors. I can hold the line. Keto doesn't need to re-peek because nobody can actually move forward. And that's where, as you mentioned, not just the Molotov, but you're missing some kind of a smoke to block off those windows so that you can close the ground. You're missing some kind of a flashbang, anything to make these defenders off the angle to give you an avenue to get into this game. Even a couple nice headshots from Cadian don't get the bomb planted. And Big's defense is off and running. Taking some losses, I think the nice thing, one thing you can at least be happy about if you're Heroic is I think there's been enough damage done in these rounds to prevent syrsoN from buying the AWP. So you're delaying the defense from picking up that weapon, which can make a whole new look on the CT side of Nuke.
Yeah, small victory in that sense, you're right. But some frustration I'm sensing too on the Heroic side. Probably feeling like the opening to that round was pretty good. 1-for-1 trade, you get the ramp. You might be lacking some nades, but don't think they were expecting that much of a fight down below. 3-1 in favor of the CT side, with tabseN at a 7-2 scoreline. Not bad. Stown is one of these players that we hope to be, calling out a lot more on the heroic side. He's obviously Danish Counter-Strike, one of the shining lights at the moment. kadian, though, the one to open up this round, hunting down tabseN. That is a nice start, and look at the speed behind this. He's relocating even further in. Gabby going down, and it's a 4-on-4. Stown, there's one with a headshot, but Tessus is dropped immediately afterwards, and they know kadian could be back here. They're going to take his entire team away from him and leaving him out here to just rot on his own. Yeah, kadian had two decisions to make with that kind of a pace. You could have just continued to be aggressive up towards heaven and wrap around into the bomb site to help crack it open, or you put some faith that your teammates are going to be able to find one kill to maybe make that rotator from ramp feel like he has to make the play. Obviously chose the latter option, and it just doesn't come to fruition. Nobody was able to nobody rotated into his crosshair. Good hold from Big in a tough situation. Losing that first player outside can be tricky to handle, and they do it well here. Yeah, even though your awareness, you could see inside of the A-bomb site, they knew that there was a chance that kadian would try and find the timing, but I think they would have been ready for it. Oh, here we go. Run boost to try and get over. That is quick, but not quite on top of the box, so couldn't really find the fight, and instead he's just taking a lot of damage. And now syersN has that AWP out, so it's a real moment in time here where Big could start to pick up a lot of rounds without Heroic being able to do much about it. Yeah, but look at the way that Big is neutralized. I mean, a failed run boost, I think, or one that's called off. But, I mean, the counter utility, the counter aggression from Big. Heroic had thrown a fast wall of smokes outside that they don't even get to use. So, now look at the utility again for Heroic. Just the 2 smokes remaining, 2 Molotovs, and 2 flashbangs to work with a minute and 10 seconds on the clock. Crimbo shifting to a stronger, more secure position in ramp room. Throw down the Molotov and slow them down just a bit more, but it's his last grenade to really try and defend with. 50 seconds on the clock here. It's down already, tagged up from earlier. Still playing this one solo outside just to get the information and find out what is happening. 40 seconds on the clock, and they need to make a move. Flashes come through. Oh, nice headshot. Shush able to take down Crimbo, but the return is just as good. tabseN will drop him, and it's back into a 4-on-4. And now there's not a lot of time on the clock. 25 seconds for the Danes to try and get something happening. tabseN might almost get caught here. It's real scary reloading out there in the open. syersN missing a shot and trying to re-peek into it. There's the catch. Stown, even low on health. I don't think tabseN realized that there was someone still out there. Faven and Keto, 1 versus 2 now, and he almost could have had it. That is actually horrifying, but it'll be Heroic to pick it up. Great play from Stown, lurking outside that whole time with 27 HP, just waiting and knowing his job is to get just 1 kill off of the play from his teammates. tabseN gets caught out in the open. Heroic even rotates back to the upper bomb site where there's 2 defenders. That could have been dangerous. This needs to be a hit. Those are the shots we need to see syersN starting to land. That first one needs to be a kill. Yeah, interesting position as well with the AWP. You're kind of boxed in there. Pistols on the CT side, and they are all running to try and put some pressure on. I'm pretty sure they know, so should be falling back. Should be a lot of guns trained here. They're going to lose down. Oh, actually, everyone else just ran downstairs. I'm a little bit surprised they didn't just take that fight straight up. Well, going to be a victory for Heroic either way. Yeah, they're going to win it no matter what, so. kadian got a pick through the squeaky door as well, and a tabseN crossing through that mini gap. They give up an AK-47, so might be a path for a faster AWP back into the hands. Well, they certainly have it on Keto. Yeah, Keto's going to be able to drop the AWP over. You imagine syersN will drop a rifle over to Faven, most likely, who's only got 1900, so money's going to be okay for Big in the next round. But you don't want to allow Heroic to give you a harsh reset this early in the game. Just the USP lost, so syersN's going to be fine with the AK. Running quite far back. Hanging out by the forklift. Do you need a special license to operate a forklift? Or you just go do it? You don't need a license, but you do need to be, you do need like to take a test. You need to be certified. All right. Which I guess is a similar concept, but you can do it in like a couple hours. Okay. I drove some forklifts in the factory. No big deal. With or without the certification? With the certification. Translation? He's so excited. He says, great, we already have 3 rounds, which that's a lot of celebration for 3 rounds. I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like
he said like 6 sentences in there, and you condensed it to, great, we already won 3 rounds. Were there a lot of things in there that you just can't say on air?
There were some swear words in there, but mostly he just repeated himself, you know, just emphasizing the fact that we should be excited. Like, you know, that's the summary, I think. He's just an excitable person. I feel like getting a birthday gift for Carrie and Scott, or for Katie, it's got to be one of the most exciting things. Like, he feels like he's
socks!
So happy.
Yeah, baby! Yeah. Woo! Wool socks!
So excited, exactly. Oh. Technical calls. He was screaming so loud that broke the microphone. It's possible.
Destroyed all the audio equipment. Conversation with Big as well. Both teams talking it over.
He actually cannot even sit still in his chair.
I know.
During the technical time.
I'm just thinking, like, how weird is it that you just get that hyped up and you're hyping your teammate up and then boom, tech pause.
Tech pause. Well, I don't think the thing is, I'm not even worried about Cadian running out of steam for stuff like that. That is his bread and butter, isn't it? He's
he's gonna be just fine.
And it seems like the problem's solved pretty quickly.
Although, funnily enough, it's a long day of Counter-Strike when you think they've potentially like 4 or 5 best of ones that they can play.
Yeah, that's true.
To keep up that kind of level.
Yeah, you don't want to be running out of energy at the end of the day, so...
Back into the action, 4-3, 1-round lead for Big on the CT side. Op in the hands of Searson, op in the hands of Cadian. And some money left over on the Searson side of things.
And Cadian's been playing pretty decently. He's 9-5 right now, so a lot of the reason why they had 3 rounds. And the economy for both teams is looking a little bit interesting. Probably a little bit more money on Heroic at the moment, but from Big's point of view, if they start to slip up right now, they could let the Danish team back into the mix, and that would be a disaster. Deep Molotov over towards Secret. Tabson. Crimbo with a potential to set something up if they want to go and check out what's happening in the yard. See Tabson, yeah, he really wants to flash for maybe himself or maybe Crimbo into it, but they need some info. Crimbo's not going to go for it, though.
Yeah, it did look like Tabson was going to set that up for Crimbo to take a peek up the stairs, giving a lot of space over to Stown. He's going to have a duel down low if he wants to take it. Tabson with an opening kill. That's through door in towards lobby. Tabson now up the vent as well, finds safety. He's got Favin on top of the hut to protect him.
A lot of smoke down, but Favin has a really, really good view on what's going on, so patient with the gun, not trying to throw anything away. Underhanding a nade right down on top. That's a massive grenade. Look at the damage on Tess. It's 52 to him. Stown, though, still going to win the fight against Crimbo. It's a bit awkward, but Tabson, what a beautiful double return. Tessus and Jabby out of the round, and that's probably all they needed. Stown and Cadian, they might almost just save what they have here. They're just so far away from winning this one.
Yeah, it has to be. Although, look at the hunt from Tabson. He's already close by. Oh, he can catch him in transition if he hustles here. Yeah, Cadian's jumping. Can't set the feet for the op shot, and Stown down low has had nothing to do this whole round. Crimbo did push into him earlier, but no real ability to change the fortunes of Heroic here in round 8. So 5-3. We extended to a 2-round lead, and Big's economy gets a little bit of breathing room.
Quad kill for Tabson, too. Nice boost for him. And that was on the edge, at least, of the CT side, maybe being forced into another save. So they managed to avoid that. This is obviously just a classic angle. Shush finding himself at the wrong place at the wrong time, but this follow-up here is amazing. Yeah, Yabby's got a smoke out as well to drop it in towards Mini. That's got to be frustrating. You say Jabby. Jabby, Yabby, I don't, it's... I thought the Scandinavian J's were wise. It probably should be. Okay. But I'm trying to... I feel like I'm going to make things worse if all the Danish names, I try to make them more Danish, you know? I have the same problem with Farley, right? Like... Yeah, and Mages. You say Mages. Weird. Yeah, I'm trying, you know. Trying to bridge the gap. I feel like we should have there should be like almost like a Counter-Strike ethics board where everyone who wants to be a professional player has to submit their name, and we can kind of like say no. Like, that's not gonna work. Yeah, this isn't allowed. Yeah, we have to be able to pronounce it. No more than 2 numbers in your name. Exactly, you know. Keto, ooh, this is dangerous. He still does get the kill somehow, but traded it right away from Tessus, who is very low on health at the moment. Farman trying to find the kill, but Shush able to pick up the headshot. A nade? Is it going to be deep enough? Doesn't seem like attacked anyone. Oh, there it is from Searson. Actually, I might have thrown it right in Cadian's face, but won't get the kill. And now it's a 3-on-4 with a quick bomb plant coming through from the heroic side.
Yeah, this should be a safe from Big. They should not even try and test this one. They've already backed way, way off the safe, these 3 weapons. So a knockout punch delivered by Heroic, and no chance for Big to get back into it. That early, you're just locked out by smokes and Molotovs. There's even one of each left on Tess's if they want to rethrow one and close off these choke points. I think Favin kind of gets caught, or Keto, excuse me, gets caught a little bit believing that Molotov was going to be spreading differently, so he's hoping that they're stuck fighting him in the flames, and it actually was only one player who was kind of stuck in the Molotov as well. So a couple miscues there on the upper bomb site on a fast hit from Heroic. Back to 5-4.
You know what I don't want to see, Jason, if I go visit the local nuclear power plant?
What's that?
Cups of coffee on the control panel.
Okay.
Just feel like that's a...
Like just a problem waiting to happen.
Liquid in the electronics kind of stuff. Like, I just feel like that's not a...
Yeah.
It's not ideal.
No.
They have rules. I've never actually been to a nuclear power plant, but I'm just... To the back of my mind, I'm thinking.
I imagine they have to have some kind of protocol around that.
Yeah. Certification, maybe.
You'd hope so.
Same with the forklift.
You'd hope so. 5-4.
Yeah.
Fast pace again. I think rinse and repeat, or are they just going to activate Shush to see what he can find? And nothing yet. Decent damage, and can't grab the player on top of the hut. Tapson finds a kill. That's on Shush. Oh, I don't know how he's won that. Stout had to have been so confused how Tapson was just wide swinging immediately. And down low, there's already defenders here.
Crimbo at the back. I don't think they realize yet he should have one of them native for free, but they get to live a bit longer, and somehow Crimbo without a kill in that battle, and it's a 3-on-3, although very low on health there. 2 of them on the heroic side, so they're still in trouble. Cadian patiently waiting. Smoke might evaporate over at the 1 door, so they're going to be really, really careful. They're kind of triangulated in here. They're boxed in to the lower bomb site. They have still a Molotov and a smoker's full on Yabby, so got to be a bit careful. Keto, that could be one hell of a Molotov. Forces them out to a Tapson getting one, but Cadian, he nearly burns alive. He's going to get one of them. It's a 1-on-1. 50 seconds still. He needs the headshot, and he cannot get it. Keto closing out the round and saving Big from a lot of trouble here.
That was kind of a weird, dangerous round. I like that Big was willing to fight there, because that's a lot of time, even if you have them boxed in. If you just wait patiently and Heroic gets to dictate things, that can get a little bit awkward with how much time they have to just kind of slow things down and wait for a mistake. So Big just decides, let's not make a mistake. Let's just make the call to be aggressive. Let's make the call to throw utility and kind of begin this retake before they're actually comfortable in the site. And it works out. 1-on-1 lost.
Well, how it goes out to Shush as well, because the setup for him to get into Squeak was actually really cool, but it feels like what you want when you get flashed through there is the immediate fight, and it feels like every half second that goes past, you know, from there on out, the chances that you win is just, it drops immediately, or at least that you get the entry. Because you're just going deeper and deeper into the bomb site. There are more angles to recover. Yep. It just gets worse and worse. So he almost, I think, had the fight at mini to begin with. Oh,
this is going to be cool. I hope Heroic pulls the trigger and moves forward. That was a cool setup initially from Searson and Tapson, but I don't think they got the aggression that they wanted, or at least not the timing of it. So Searson's kind of fallen back and left Tapson on his own. Still going to find a kill, but can't get into safety. Way too wide swung, but Searson on top of Blue Box comes back for more. Second kill, but down to just 16 HP.
That is exactly the kind of Searson we really want to see, and that big need. Oh, the shadow. I don't think Texas realized. Oh, that is so funny. He's down and out, and could have just as well been a shot there for Searson, but he's going to quit the round with 3 in the bag, which is not at all somebody to be scoffed at here. Yabby on his own. 1 versus 4 that he's turned into a 1-on-3. He has the bomb in about 40 seconds. This can be done. But, man, you need to be quick with it.
I think, unfortunately, Searson going down, I don't think it's possible for Big to recover that. At least at the moment, nobody's even moving forward. You can understand why. Focus on the round win, but that AWP is going to be too far away for a Big team that doesn't have a lot of money to work with. Yabby, or Jabby, going to go down.
Yeah, you could tell in his... This actually does make a lot of sense, even though it looks a little bit silly, but he never even checks that angle, and sometimes you'll see pro players do that, where they they're kind of almost saying, well, there are maybe 5 different angles I need to cover. I'm going to try for like 3 or 4 of them. And then if they're in the other 2, I might just be dead. But otherwise, you're basically going into a bomb site and swinging like a full 360 to try and cover everything.
Yep.
not really going to work either. So
no, you have to take risks, and sometimes it just does not work out. Well, there's a children's drawing of a nuclear reactor for you.
Concerning too. 7-4. Nice little lead here for Big. I like what I'm seeing on the CT side.
Big nade.
Huge grenade, and the follow-up spray is even better. Farman with a good triple, and he had enough left for the last one. Didn't even get baited into the reload, so quad kill for him to shut it down, and it's 8 on the board for Big. Do you think Maui Snake woke up early to watch this big game? It's been another cheerleader for them for a while.
He did have the bold statement of Big to start the year.
He was almost not even close to being right.
There's still a few months left. We'll give him a break for the moment. Second timeout used from Heroic. They had a small stretch where things were starting to look good, like they were going to swing it into their favor, but they never got that, as we see so many times on the T side, they never got that like full economic advantage. They never actually delivered that one round that could give them and let them build momentum. And Big now with a pretty comfortable lead for the moment.
Nice. 8-4, and the 13th round. 2 not a race. Good stuff. They need to win some of these rounds right now. I don't think 4 is going to be anywhere near enough for the Heroic team on the T side, so preferably try and get up to 6 or something like that. You have a little bit of a basis to work from. Grimbo switching it up with a bit more aggression. A bit aggressive outside. Now we're looking at a little bit over towards the ramp. It's a nice way to make Heroic feel uneasy on the T side.
Unfortunately, the smoke is thrown by his teammate, and it lands on Keto, which means it doesn't actually block off the squeaky door in any meaningful way. They've got to use a follow-up smoke to help him get the safety down the vents. All 4 players from Heroic are here, just flashbangs to work with.
Look at Katie walking through the smoke. What an incredibly bold play. But the gun barrel is showing he still wins the fight against Farman. That's crazy. What a risk to take, but it pays off. Tess is coming up with the headshot on Thompson. That's really rolling the dice. And again, Big, they're almost in a position where saving might be a choice.
Yeah, it probably has to be, especially look at the positions on the map. They're so far away, no one's even postured for it. That's a round that, I mean, it feels like it should never happen. Obviously, helped out by Katie and taking that massive risk just coming through the smoke. But really, when you think about it, if you go all the way back, that round is created by the chaos of that missed smoke that hits Keto after his initial kill.
True.
They've got to use a second one. Instead of feeling safe falling back into the bomb site, he falls down the vents, which leads one lone defender at that site behind the vents.
And, you know, small little detail, but while he was going through the smoke there, he had one of his teammates kind of still put bullets through the smoke, which is obviously just a nice little trick to lure anyone on the CT side into maybe thinking, all right, they're just testing it. They're just shooting through to see if we can get anyone.
Faven was so surprised to see him in that position. Yeah. I mean, you'd say he has the advantage in that fight, but his aim was just a little bit off. He just never expected the fight to occur there. 8-5. Big making a smart economic decision that's going to give them 2 rounds of buys regardless of what happens in the next round.
So excited still.
They're just giggling.
8-5. I mean, they have a real shot at it still. They can put together a nice first half if they can continue to convert some of these rounds. The money is decent on the Big side in spite of everything, so probably going to be a struggle to the end here. We'll see if Heroic can get more than 5 on the board.
I think Heroic feels like this upper bomb site is the place that they can find the most success. Oh, I don't think Favin realizes he's out here. Searson, big job to do. Blinded, but he saw the target earlier. Stown was able to wrap upon him. And Tabson is left, spamming through the smoke, but not enough bullets in the magazine to complete the kill. And now Big has to scramble to protect the lower bomb site, but no one's in position to go down.
Yeah, that's a real big issue. How do you actually get down here? You almost want to be able to catch one of them before the bomb goes down. At the very least, make it a 3-on-3. Yabby's very cautious about not just running into anyone in the control room there, but they have 1 minute and 10 seconds, so why wouldn't they be?
I think the play from Keto is the important one right now. We've got 2 players downstairs.
Yeah, but if Shush sticks around, I mean, how's that even going to be working out? He's still out there. He's down. Does he see it? He does! Right at the edge. That is a creepy smoke.
I think Heroic is going to end up going right back up the vents to the upper bomb site, which is why I think Keto's play is so critical to this round. I don't think there's really an option. There's the Molotov, but Heroic, they're going to... Oh, they're trying to make the decision right now. Spam coming through, Crimbo with the off angle, but Kaden with the bomb is already in the vents. Yeah.
You are right. It looks like that's what's going to happen, Keto. This is the position you were talking about. Hanging out by that squeak door. Ooh, he looks for it, but shush, one hell of a headshot. Tabson's going to be found. That is so ridiculous. Oh, he just swung that AK. And now Crimbo's on his own, trying to get down. 15 seconds. They're going to get the bomb plant down, and we'll get a 6th round. There's not much Crimbo can do about it.
This round is, I think, Big played it just about as perfectly as you could, and it's individual missed shots, missed plays. They set it up just about as well as you can and still miss the opportunities. And those are the heartbreaking rounds. Those are the painful ones.
Crimbo might get found here as well. Goes the other way. But, I mean, I agree. Everything about this seemed really nicely set up. A good idea. They lost Faven on top of the hut as well at the beginning, which is unfortunate. Otherwise, maybe could have been a little bit more of a solid defense.
There was a lot of chaos in that round. And
yeah.
Searson gets the kill at red box, but Sound had already pushed up way behind him to wrap upon that position. Crimbo's going to get a couple kills in garbage time. And as I mentioned, with the save in the previous round, Big's got enough money to drop some weapons and still put out a full loadout.
Now that there's no scoreboard on the... What's your sense of how many kills Tabson has? Because I kind of lost track at one point.
Up to 17?
He's up to 17.
Is it 17?
Crazy.
Yeah.
He was playing well earlier on, but I didn't realize he was looking this good.
Well, Heroic's been attacking, you know, outside with 2 players quite frequently. They've been, you know, obviously coming outdoor towards the upper bomb site. So Tabson's been at the center of a lot of the action in this. If you look at Crimbo with 7 kills, before that round he only had 4. He's the guy playing in secret. And while they've been attacking outside, they haven't really been challenging towards secret with any kind of volume. So tough for him to find more than just a few frags.
Look at this position for Stown. If you come back from the garage, he's just waiting inside of the smoke and he still wins the fight. He had some unfortunate moments earlier, Stown. Out there, he got caught a couple of times, but that is, seems like an unlikely victory for him.
What a timely smoke from Crimbo as well. Heroic was frothing at the mouth to get into ramp room. They were ready to hit it. Smoke is going to stall him out. 1 minute and 7 seconds to work with for Heroic, and it looks like they want to readjust to the outside yard. They've got 5 smokes still. 4 smokes. They got plenty to set up any kind of wall they want, but they're going at Searson's AWP.
Yeah, not necessarily a wise move. Stown going to feel the wrath of Searson outside first. He re-peeks it. He sees a couple of more people jumping down for sure. 45 seconds, and they don't really want to play around with that. Like, you know what, that's a bad move.
It's a lot of time being chewed off the clock. That kind of a play just to lose 1 player and fall away is eating 40 seconds off of the clock. Crimbo in advanced position, cuts down 2. There goes Tessus, and Cadian has got to push forward. He trades off the kill, but again, time is an enemy as well.
Nice confidence on Crimbo to take those fights. You could tell, oh, but Sisson's going to get caught. That's awkward. 2-on-3 into a 2-on-2, and the fight almost won by Shush. The bomb, though, is now lost with 10 seconds here, more or less, 14 maybe. I don't think this could be won by KD, and he just doesn't have the time to play this slow. Farman takes him down, and it is a nice end for Big. They did all the work here in the first half, and maybe even enough for the second half victory. We'll find out in just a minute.
I have no idea where he is. He can go B.
20 seconds.
Oh, you have the bomb.
Oh, you have to run.
Let's kill him, let's kill him.
Kill him,
Sorry.
kill you guys. Oh, I didn't.
Kill
Do we
him,
have
kill
time?
him, kill him, kill him. No, I don't have time, I think. Just try to kill him, though.
We're coming.
Oh, I didn't
I'm clearing B.
Coming tunnels.
He's tunnels, I think. T-spawn, I think.
Likely, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, right, sure, I think.
I'll tap B.
Just scout him.
Thanks, God. It's okay. It doesn't matter.
I didn't even
win the
set
round.
the bomb.
Ready? I smoke.
I will be able to resmoke fallen.
Smoke.
Minutes.
Mid. Maybe split.
Window.
Blind.
Window, under, stand
Under.
back, stand back.
Back, stand back.
That B.
Nice.
Nice, that B1, that B1. Just go mid B.
Go B, go
You
mid.
have to go mid B.
That B
Nice,
second.
that B1 more. That mid,
Mid,
one more
last
mid.
mid, last mid. AK
No!
window, nice. AK window.
Let's go!
Nothing
Nice B. No, I'm picking.
Wait.
Let's go close.
Mid pushing.
I'm a
Me
peek.
too.
I'm a peek second mid.
Holding 3. Could be white
Could be
box.
Vietnam.
Check
Second mid.
Yeah,
Boiler
on apps.
pushing. I need help.
Where?
Mid
Yeah,
boiler.
Apps and second mid. Yes.
Come.
One more here. Slope.
Pull back now.
Apps one.
That's it.
Apps and second mid. Apps.
Banana.
You left too short. You left deep.
Can be boiler.
You run way long.
I have
will
still-
follow
I
it.
can still do apps more guys.
One mid. One more mid.
One was second mid. That far back. Careful, he's going mid.
I'm in boiler.
I'm good. I have smoke.
To kill
It was long corner, Jackie.
I'm adventuring.
Boiler.
I left apps, okay? I'm flanking holes. I'm peeking long now.
Want to go long?
Boiler.
Mid. Boiler.
Yeah.
Good job.
I don't see anything.
Sandwich.
I don't see city.
There's.
I'm
Okay,
tripping.
jungle.
Can I boost
Let's-
this stairs,
let's-
Yeah.
Let's pick stairs together, guys. You ready?
Wait a bit. You ready?
Go. 3, 2, 1.
Dead.
One more stairs, one more
Stairs.
stairs.
Dead.
Go city now.
We have city.
Get ramp. I'm only ramp behind. Yeah, should be one
City dead.
episode.
Let's move
I'm
down.
pushing city.
Open
Oh,
jungle,
fuck.
open jungle.
Nice, guys.
I
I'm
took
for
Don't
city.
take up, don't take up, Madden.
Okay.
Okay, take it.
Til venstre. Det er Eko. Bare kom under. Bare kom under.
To
Fuck
udenfor,
Eko.
gutter. Begge
Rimbo,
begge
ramme.
begge har vi.
Ja,
Godt låst
Tag
dem.
V, tag V.
En af jer
Ja,
godt
smukker
låst,
her.
gutter.
Jeg planter diggene.
AK mod T-spawn. De var begge to.
Vi skal bare overleve, gutter 4.
det er fint.
Bygge
Okay.
økonomi. Nice, kom nu, vi har tre T-runder allerede. Kom nu, land. Kom nu, vi taber den anden runde, vi er allerede tilbage. Jeg kan lide det. Kom nu. En, kom op til mig.
Jeg kan ikke få den af, her.
Nej.
Like, we got subtitles for the celebration of winning 3 or 4 rounds at the start.
Yeah, what a psychopath. He's right, though. He's 6 rounds after losing the second round. You got to be quite happy with that one on T side. Heroic found a way to make it work right at the end. A decent stretch of rounds. Some missed opportunities for Big where it felt like they had control and it still slipped away. A lot of pressure towards ramp room. Defense is going to drop back. 2 players rotate down low to defend against it. Now utility towards the upper bomb site is a little bit of a fake, but ramp room is still the target.
Nice clear from Searson, jumping up to make sure nobody is boosted up into that corner. Also holding secret at the same time, but it's Tessa's to start out the second round, or the second half here, with a nice shot. Jabby to follow it up. Cadian finally goes down, but it's still a 4 versus 3. And the Crimbo looking for a target out here. A little bit scary when you're out in the open. He sees Towers, maybe lucky to be alive, and he's going to try and make it in through secret, but it's called out. They know what's coming, and they still can't shut him down. Crimbo, nice shot, and could have had a chance at Shush with the dualies. It's a 2-on-2, and the bomb has been planted now. Tess is looking for it, and he finds Searson from below. Headshot pretty much straight through his own feet, and now Favin 1 versus 2. That bomb is still got a lot of time left. Oh, they're on top of Tess's! He could find him. That looked horrifying. That looked like he had no control over that fight, Tess's, at all.
No, he was still dropping down when they found the position. That was very close to a victory. Again, just such narrow margins on some of these rounds. Good shooting from Big to get themselves into the upper bomb site. This one, if Searson could have found a way to just stay alive, they might have sealed the round. That would have made it so much more difficult. But yeah, awkwardly shooting on the pallet he drops onto. 9-7. Heroic closing the gap. And now they're on the CT side. Now it gets easier.
And I mean, there's so much more of a reason why this is such a critical win here in the second half, because 9-6 is still a pretty good lead for Big, but that could evaporate right in front of us here. That could be gone really quickly.
Might be gone already. Deagle's picked up for Big. They're going to go for a buy in the next round with AK-47s due to the plant in the pistol. Looking for damage at the moment. Cadian's gotten off already.
Just going to say that's a really quick AWP. Keep it in range of other players so that you can save it. Don't get lost somewhere really deep on the map. Even if the enemy team can't pick it up, just no reason to throw away that much money. Deagle spam through the walls.
Does that work?
Yeah, I think it does. But it's just so rare nowadays.
Well, they have the information at the very least that the Cadian off is on the board. They know where Stown is. They put a stop to him. Good headshot. Cadian's going to step up to the plate, shifting over. There goes the up. Okay, now this gets spicy. Another one from Searson. Handles the aim punch so well. And oh no, Heroic on the verge of losing another second round.
That did not seem like a fight that was worth taking at all from Cadian's point of view. He kind of knew they were there, but he just felt like he had to swing for it.
And if you're Heroic too at this point, like, how do you know what bomb site that is the priority to protect? How do you know where to shift?
We almost just have to hope that I mean, especially maybe the forward player here in Tess, is that he could find someone and interrupt whatever is going on, because otherwise, if you're in the wrong position, it's going to be all over. Oh, MP9, that's a great place to find yourself. 15 seconds now on the clock, so eventually Big gonna have to make a move. This might be a little bit of trouble for them. They're down below with the bomb, though, so at least they turned it into a 1 versus 2. Farman is gonna be there immediately with the bomb plant, but they are right on top of him, already catching him out in the open. It's a nice recovery from Heroic in a round that they could have just as well lost.
Yeah, and they get the AWP as well. They made sure to grab that one. Searson had brought it in towards Mini, so he gets dropped. They get to salvage that weapon. But man, that was way, way too close. And you can even see him there at the end, just talking over what they're seeing, why that fell apart so much, why that kind of, I think that was Stown and Cadian having the conversation of, this is what I saw, this is why I swung in this fashion, and this is how everything got ruined afterwards.
I think in this moment, from Cadian's point of view, he had like an awkward double scope, and then he didn't have the sensitivity to adjust to it either. There was something that went horribly wrong out in that moment. 9-8. Do you know they make special signs for radioactive waste that are meant to be read like 10,000 years from now?
Yeah, I've heard about that. When they bury the materials like way out in no man's land.
They have to assume that people don't speak the same language almost, so they have to try and figure out what would look dangerous to a civilization that doesn't know any of our stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of cool and scary at the same time.
Fun fact of the day.
Yeah. 9-8. tabseN kind of stuck at the 17 kills here for just a minute in the second half, but they have rifles back on the side of Big. AKs, no AWP for season.
They can take this round after the 3 kills they got in the previous. That would be magnificent for Big. Give them something early to celebrate about. Smoke down from tabseN off red box. Another smoke coming in, and a third to complete the wall.
One of the many different walls that can be put out there. Quite a few different versions of it, all with slightly different outcomes. season not happy about that. Looking at his teammate like, can we get up here and throw these flashes through the windows?
Well, Heroic's not nervous at all about the wall that was set up outside. They have no one even glancing for any progression in the yard. They are unconcerned about any presence there. All focused towards the upper bomb site for the moment.
Molotov down. Gabby's gonna have to find a new home. And he will take Faven down before he gets it, so that's a nice way to get a little bit of an escape. Otherwise, you get stuck up there. Nice shot onto tabseN on top of everything else. And this seemed like it was no problem. Maybe partly because of what you said. They didn't even really move to defend the yard at all.
Yeah, no strength in that hit. Even Tess's was pushed up in ramp room to be able to pounce with the SMG as soon as the execute comes in. So we're all tied up at 9, and that's a free AK-47 upgrade. And that's 4 players surviving it around that Heroic came into with a real shaky economy. So that starts to make him feel a tiny bit more comfortable.
I feel like those flashes that go through the ceiling windows on the A bomb side are... I don't know if a coin flips in right. I feel like sometimes they do nothing at all. I feel like this. Sometimes they can have a shape. I think we saw it in the pistol round how much damage they could do, but sometimes it feels like just nothing happens.
Well, also, I mean, you can, you know, players now, you do the research, you see which flashbangs are being thrown, so when you're playing your position, you know exactly where you want to look away from, right?
Yeah. And when they don't work, it's you are running in from very narrow choke points and you can get shut down, so it's kind of critical that that they do work. Nade is going to be way too late, but they'll hear it. Stown is going to be calling it in, saying, yep, they're running down below, and with... Oh, what a find. I was going to say, with the push on ramp, they're going to be catching Tessus. This is an absolute nightmare for Heroic. Cadian fighting for his life, and the double kill might bring them back into the round just a bit, but this is still a surprising opening.
The bomb dropped on the railing, so now they have to stop, and they have to look back, and good recovery from Crimbo. I didn't know if he was going to have the op out in hand. tabseN looking for one. Alert coming in. Stown has seen it. dink onto Stout, and I think he's likely going to want to just back away with 10 health. No reason to go for this. So lost round, Heroic's going to have to rebuy. And Big, they let him get close. They let him tie things up, but they extend the lead to 1 just again.
That is such a surprising loss for Heroic here. Oh, they're going to find Stout as well. Never mind that the wall goes down, but they know that there's at least a couple of people rushing. Maybe he doesn't know if it's 2 or 3 or 5 rushing, but he knows there's more than 1 person rushing lower. And yet the people in ramp get caught off guard. You'd think that's the next logical part to that piece of the puzzle.
I think with, look, they had information, right? But never like the details of it. They knew there was fast pace towards secret from outside, but obviously you don't really fully realize the numbers of it, right? And dropping down vents, that timing's not there. All you're hearing is they're rushing outside, they're rushing down secret, but you don't know the exact location at that point. That communication obviously didn't come through. And then the rotationary reaction, or the reactionary rotation from ramp room is what catches them off guard. So yeah, that was just perfectly timed from Big.
I think that kind of confusion on the CT side for the rotations is one of the reasons why I still think Nuke is probably still my favorite map.
Coolest factors about it.
Yeah.
Because of the way the bomb sites are stacked. And I mean, you even get that a little bit on Vertigo, but it's harder to kind of pull off in the same way since you can hear everything across the map that you can't quickly get between the 2 bomb sites.
Of course, a little bit of a distraction on one side of the map forces ramp to run around and they get caught. And
so it's one of the factors that made some of the all-time great Nuke teams was their ability to kind of manage that.
Yeah.
You know.
It's not an easy thing to solve. I even feel like sometimes you even have to think, depending on who on your team, if you're on the CT side, if you lose a player early on, you're playing a 4 and 5, you almost have to go through like the steps of saying, wait, so where are we not defending anymore? We lost someone in, lower, so where are they going? Oh, this is a little bit of a crossfire though. Tess's nice headshot to bring down Tabson. Again, Heroic are on the verge of eco, and they have no grenades in this round. They just have the M4s and a single 570. If they get away with another round like this, where they actually get to save the economy and start to fight again, Big are going to be heartbroken.
Yeah, Big really need to reset at some point, and this is a perfect opportunity for it. Perfect fight taken down low with that crossfire. Big would have loved to have had the Molotov on the initial peak and not after the fact. Tesses has a big job to do. Plenty of teammates in the upper bomb site, needs to be aware of Heaven, needs to be able to have a staunch defense here. Oh, they're going to boost up on the other side, though.
It's going to give him a heart attack, surely. Oh, he has no idea, but he's still lightning fast. That's a nice shot. Crimbo down below, though, through the grid, and will take him down. So 3 versus 4. But the problem is the time. 20 seconds on the clock, and they need to find a bomb site right now. Cadian, are they going to be able to surprise him here? Searson's up close, but he doesn't see it. The scope just blinding him to Cadian's position, and I think they can't win the round now. 10 seconds. They have to try and back out and save the guns if they can. A little bit more expensive as they take down Shusha. That's interesting, but Heroic, they get away with another one.
Yeah, they keep just sustaining, hanging on by their fingertips. Counter-terrorists win. 10 to 10. Plenty of money for Big to rebuy into it. 3 players with what, $6,000 to $7,000 of cash, so nothing too crazy on that side of things. But they're letting Heroic survive a little too long. They're letting them linger around, and at some point, Heroic might just snap into control.
Yeah,
they did have a Molotov. It's not deep enough to force Tabson away from that position.
I love this play so much. I'm shocked that Tess has got this one.
I am too.
Still not a great economy on the Heroic side. I mean, it's all the time close. So Big get another shot at it here. If they win this one, they're still in a good position. A nice run. Tabson's got the confidence back. He's up to 21 kills. And Stown, no more to say in the round.
They've been very comfortable moving across yard fast early in the round, just hustling over towards secret. Now let's see how they manage again. Yabby in the same position that Tessus was previously. The Molotov's deeper this time, which forces him off that angle. Shush spots numbers outside. 2 players down low, Cadian and Yabby.
They got Tessus up in heaven too, so I don't know what it would take for the CT side to get back into this round. Maybe what Shush is doing is part of the puzzle here. If you find a kill, turn it into a 4 on 3, maybe something could be done. Gonna find Keto at the very least. It's a start, but they need more.
Well, with this position now, hey, bomb site is open.
Oh,
Shush is going to get another one. This is slipping away yet again. Big just now getting the bomb plant in. Karimbo's up in the rafters.
they might still have it though. Because
Yeah, this is going to be a real hard retake, especially because Cadian and Yabby are lining up to come up vents.
if they would have been closer somehow, then all of this work for Shush would have been so much more impressive, but they're just so far away. And the fact that he got the kills now, it could be one of those scenarios where they almost get baited into trying the retake and then losing everything. Missed shot from Searson, but the time is just, it's already so low on that bomb. They're gonna get the kill on Searson, and now they're running for it. Crimbo, he'll take down one of them, and he's up on the rafters looking for it. Cadian with a shot. Farvan's still alive, and all he has to do is leave. Another 3 seconds, and they will win the round anyway. Nice shot onto Shush, and it will be big to take the round.
Yeah, but it feels like it doesn't have to be this difficult. What a deep sigh of relief it's got to be from Gabi, just watching, not able to actually be involved. 3-on-3, good positioning as well. There was utility. There was a Molotov that wasn't used in that post plant for Big. There was some nades and some flashbangs, but that was sketchy. I can't believe Shush actually made this doable. 3-on-5. His double kill puts it into a 3-on-3. Made that real scary. Too many kills just drifting away from Big in critical moments in the rounds.
Farvan just a good understanding at the end, even though a lot of pressure on him there, just keeping it slowed down.
Ey, kannst du... Gib mir Karim und Josef bitte Mausmoves geben. Ja, Meta-Maus.
Need a little bit more volume. I'm trying to do this a little bit of German translation. Yeah.
German's a little bit rusty?
Just a little bit. I'm mostly speaking it. I feel like the listening part is better. I'm seeing a Nova shotgun on Shush. You have to respect that.
It's full buy in the round for Heroic. Somewhat of a desperate scenario.
Ew, it's green though. What's up with that?
You don't like green shotguns?
No, obviously not. Canadian forward position here. Feel like Heroic surely can't have any more fortune left in them. Oh, Cadian, is he going to spot it? That's a lot of noise being made. Surely Tamsin hears that. Scary stuff to fall down, and he's going to get caught falling back in. Must be wondering, damn, he was there the whole time. Tessa's caught rotating back. The Molotov forced him into it, so Heroic trying to push into the round here and trying to shock Big by having a little bit more weaponry than maybe they were expecting, but it's not working out at all.
What a great route from Tapson. He's thrown a couple different looks at him. Yeah, Cadian watching that back is going to be so frustrating that Tapson just stayed out of his vision the whole time. Tapson does eventually go down. That's an AK-47 recovered, and Heroic won't want to risk that for any kind of attempted retake. Back off and be happy with the one weapon. So 12-10, 2-round lead now for Big.
But that was all the money. They really invested into this round, Heroic. So even if it's just 2 rounds, very likely to be a third.
Still, M4, AK-47, shotgun into the next round. Don't have to buy anything. Don't have to... You can re-up a... Actually, probably shouldn't even touch any extra utility with the kind of money they're looking at the moment. But at least you've got some weapons to work with.
Don't throw away the shotgun. Whatever you do, never do that.
What do you think the name of that skin is?
Yeah, I did it.
Sour apple?
It could be.
The worst candy flavor.
I think I'll always put anything cherry lower, because real cherries taste great.
Yeah,
artificial cherry is like one of the worst things.
It certainly is.
Always feel like I might have been poisoned if I... Like,
now, banana. That's a flavor for candy.
Now we're talking.
12-10. Back into the action. They do fully invest around those 3 rifles, Heroic. They buy up on Tess's and Cadian. This is, look, if Heroic loses this round, goes on to lose the match, I think you could really have a deep, long conversation around the decision to fully invest here.
Yeah, they're kind of pushing the limits of what's doable at the moment. But if it works out and if they get back into the game, it's a different question altogether. Stam very nearly caught off guard.
How has Tapson been able to catch so many people off guard and by surprise outside? He's been doing these kinds of plays this whole half, and still Heroic have not caught onto it and not gotten really aware of it.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I guess also on top of everything else, I mean, they know that they're not going to run into the AWP out there. So he's feeling super confident in doing it. But you still would have thought that maybe on the Heroic side that they start to realize, wait a minute, we have to be aware of that corner. Stolen AK, M4, FAMAS, a couple of Deagles.
Yeah, but information is gained by Heroic. They have control of lobby. They know everyone's outside. Problem is, Tapson's already beat them to the lower bomb site to a certain extent. Although you'd have to wonder how aggressive Tapson is going to be down here. In terms of getting information, the only player
Opening the door could be real dangerous, and that's just so unfortunate. Stan was already in position. tabseN probably wanted to create more of a distraction by putting up a smoke and sort of pretending to be out there. They're in a lot of trouble here, Big, whether they know it or not. Cadian showing up, but oh, that's actually surprising that he got the kill. I thought maybe he would have just been knocked out.
They should know Stown is still down here. He had the kill earlier, so they have that information. At least there's still at least one defender at the lower bomb site. 15 seconds. I don't... Is Big saving?
Yeah, they must be. Which...
What a weird round.
Didn't seem like at any point, I mean, not that much happened for Heroic to take this one.
Well, for tabseN to kind of go down to Secret alone and Control alone and then have everyone follow up with him after he dies, you know, 20 seconds later, that just feels like... And also, the other side of it, too, you're kind of letting Heroic off the economic noose in a certain way, right? Like, you've had that economic advantage, and now you're just saying, here, have this round where you get to survive with 4 players. Have some upgraded rifles.
Yeah, you can bring it back a little bit. That was a quick headshot. He was in a bad position there, Cadian.
Yeah, lucky they didn't actually get doubled up. Gobby getting involved in the conversation. Him and tabseN trying to find the solution, marshaling the troops. tabseN's been very, very vocal since Gobby came back as the coach of this team of how much of a relief it is to have a familiar voice and a trusted voice behind him.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. It sounds like an Astralis type strategy.
I heard that as well.
That is always interesting how teams name their strats. Obviously, there are a lot of
They name it after the team they steal it from.
Yeah, exactly. You know, makes sense. 12-11, 24th round. Still, tabseN is playing a great game. 22 kills on him. Over on the other side, Katie at 20. So the captain's kind of battling it out a little bit on either side. I don't know who's going to win this one right now. It could go either way. The money for Heroic still not great. Still need to keep fighting their way back into it. But then again, it's not really great on the big side either. Down with only the 1 kill, but a lot of damage on the Faven. Could have been enough maybe for a double almost. Kido going to be shot by the double push into lobby. They did it last round, and they're back at it again.
Yeah, Heroic has that feel now. They're like, all right, we'll keep taking over lobby from the CT side. Look what options you have now. I don't know how Big finds an escape out of this round.
Really need... We need to find at least one Heroic player looking the wrong way here. Under a minute, so they have a little bit of time to work with, but... Man... Right now they're frozen in time waiting for it.
Yeah, they're disjointed. Faven's in a position where he could make a play, but he took that dink earlier, so it's kind of like syeTN has to be the one to make a play. Crimbo is a bit nervous when you realize they've already taken over lobby. Like, what a risk to come down. This round is just going to kind of drift away.
Yeah, it feels like it. That minute is down to 30 seconds now. Yabi trying to play it very, very carefully, not showing himself too much, and that's what they should do, right? Play for time, slow this down as much as you possibly can, because Big, eventually, the clock will defeat them in the end. 18 seconds now. They're bringing the bomb down towards the lower part of the map.
They gotta run. I don't know why they're walking. They got smokes they gotta put up in this window. There's the first one. Cadian neutralized for the moment over towards the double doors. 7 seconds now on the clock. They've got to plant inside of it. They get the kill. The necessary kill, and the bomb goes down. Oh, a chance. A prayer for Big. They're bringing it back. 1v2 for syeTN.
Yeah, he has to hit the shot. He can't miss a single one. Smoke is up in front. That might make it even worse. But they haven't really found him yet. He still has a shot at it here. He can play Ring Around the Rosie if they come for him. Sees just a leg, but he wants the second player too. Oh, this is high risk and possibly high reward as well. They have no idea. How did he get back into this position? They do not have a kit currently picked up, so it's going to be a real long defuse at the moment. And syeTN, how is he just hidden back here? He takes down Javi. Oh, this is a wild play. And now the flash is out. He misses the shot, but he might have done enough. They can't get it. He has to escape. What a play from syeTN. Waiting around without even firing the gun.
Oh, that's unbelievable. The heroic smoke is what gives him the space to make that play. I cannot believe they found a way back into that round.
This is so
I cannot
sneaky.
believe it.
Unbelievable. He gets the kill, but that's not even necessary. Even if he missed that shot, he probably could have still lived.
Well, think of it this way, too. Like, even the movement that he has to hide behind that box in the corner, the time it takes Heroic to clear out every other angle in the bomb site where they don't realize where he's gone is the time they needed to actually defuse the bomb. What a play from syeTN in a 1v2. Heroic timeout. Big's out. Big can no longer call a timeout, so it's only Heroic that's going to be able to pause the action in the game and allow Gobby to get any kind of any kind of input here in the later stages of Nuke.
It's a very unusual way to win a round. You know, a lot of the time, that's gonna somehow blow up in your face, but they just weren't ready. That's crazy. 13-11.
Yeah, 13-11. 2-round lead. Again, Heroic playing another round with the backs against the wall in terms of their finances. And they cannot afford to get reset in these final few rounds. That would be the red carpet for Big. Searson's going to get aggressive, misses the opportunity. Molotov down. He burns about half HP, but going to extinguish the flames and survive.
Grenade to follow him. He's almost dead, so...
And Big no longer wants to deal with CT side taking over lobby. They put way more bodies here. It's not just Keto any longer. They've got 4 people here to hold down the fort. And actually, interesting enough for Heroic, a huge gamble towards the upper bomb site. They might have been thinking that, hey, we just called the timeout. Big might just call a pop at the upper bomb site.
Instead they go for the ramp room. Cadian is here, but there's an AWP train at the corner. Nicely done from Searson. His teammates taking it over. Cadian going to be frustrated in that one, and honestly, Heroic, they
Absence
might...
dead.
Yeah, he might be, but they might still have to worry... Oh, they're going to go back. I was going to say, if that doesn't happen, it's almost close to Heroic just should be saving, because 4-on-5 with a bomb down, that's not a winnable round.
It all comes down to this fight in the lower bomb site. Now, they have 3 people here, so they're at least going to battle for it. It's just, can they actually have any success? Deagle over towards window, M4 as well. Oh, good tags. Good tags, checking Crimbo and tagging Keto as well. I don't know how Tessus has been so effective through the smoke with the Deagle, but Big is in a lot of trouble.
Oh, and a wall back from Shush. The FAMAS doing so much damage. There's no wall there at all, so Crimbo out of it. What a weird path here for Big to get into the bomb site. Shush comes charging through, and Heroic, they're not giving up without a fight either. USP from Shush to bring him down, and Searson again finding himself this time in a 1 versus 3. Shush going to be the hero of the round, and Heroic, this is going to get everyone fired up.
Oh, they still found a way to lose lobby. They still find a way to allow Heroic to take over lobby. Stown just creeps in behind the massive amounts of body, and Tabson can't believe it. He never expected it. Knife was out.
And if you, because of the studio setup, if you're Big, you have to listen to the insane scream.
Cadian.
Oh, it's so funny, isn't it?
Oh my God. This T-side from Big, a team that I normally think of as a pretty strong tactical team. I feel like this T-side for me has just been, has lacked something. Oh, see ya. Tapson had, what, 17 kills at the end of the first half, 18 kills at the end of the first half. He's at 21 now, so he's slowed down quite a bit.
Gravity did the work this time.
Yeah.
It's taken better men than me.
And yeah, you studied physics, so you know all about that.
I flunked out of physics, Jason.
Well, so
not because...
At least you got the gravity, right?
We got...
That seems to be
talk about it.
The foundational physics thing that you learned first.
I came in there, I told them I want to try and see if I can stop gravity, and they said, Anders, you have to leave this department.
Failed.
We need to
immediately.
Need to get out. Crimbo and Farven. They've picked up an M4 at the very least. They've done a little bit of economic damage to Hurricane, taking down Tessus. They don't have any money still on the Danish side, so I mean, in light of that, Big should be feeling like, oh, we're really just all the time 1 round away from making this work. A little bit more damage in this round would be great. 4 surviving on the heroic side is a little bit too much. Get another kill in there. There's one on Stout. Oh, and this is beautiful. And a bomb plant on top. This is great. Crimbo.
No,
he's
surely
great
not.
so far. No, it's very unlikely, and he's out in the open. Shush has been accurate in this series as well, but that's amazing. 3 kills and a bomb plant. The heroic economy is still absolutely wrecked.
Yeah, but Big's never been able to get that one win that seals it, that buries them. I have another chance at it here.
Yeah, that's I don't know if they make it back here, heroic. It must be such a relief knowing that you played. Is this like the 4th round in a row now where they just they're all the time on the verge? They've had 3 crazy force-ups so far in this game.
Yeah, they've really had to struggle and labor to stay into this game. So in one sense, give some props over to them, but this isn't going to be like any kind of great feel-good win for heroic. It's just like, whew, that was a difficult one.
Tied up. 27th round. Big with the bomb plant, able to still put a bind together, and maybe importantly, Searson on that AWP. He's been doing an alright job, but nowhere near the heights of what we know Searson can do. So if that's something that they have in store for us here in the last couple of rounds, that could absolutely change the outcome.
Oh, here's that timing hit. Heroics expected this at times. Look at all the utility. Look how blind Shush is. Cadian is going to hold him off, and Faven burns due to the damage from Shush. And again, the strength of this hit is just taken away out of Big.
I can't believe Shush lived. I feel like he was flashed for 10 seconds. I was sure he was going to get shot in the back, but...
No, Heroic was ready for that, though. We saw them do a gamble stack with 4 players previously. They've been looking for Big to make this kind of a play, and this round, Cadian was even up in heaven behind his teammate, waiting for the utility usage, waiting for the flashbangs to just peek behind it. Good kill. That might actually open up an option for tabseN down low already.
Cadian versus seiRSN. Last time it went the way of seiRSN, but this time... no connection on either side. And yeah, that forward, I don't think at all Shush was ready for Crimbo to be in there. He was kind of jiggle peeking the first corner, but didn't expect for anyone to be pushed out that for 40 seconds. tabseN would love a fight down here. If he blows out the window, though, at least we'll let Tessus know that something's happening. But he gets sandwiched in here. Nice shot onto Crimbo. Orb is coming up next. They know that seiRSN has it somewhere in this lobby area because it's already had a little bit of a fight with
tabseN's on the bomb site.
Yeah, he does. He's behind him. Oh, Tessus, he's boxed in, but still a 2-on-4. 20 seconds left. He's going to try and plant the bomb, but will come off of it, and seiRSN's going to be found. It's unfortunate. Big are trying their best to try and see if they can solve that round, but it's not going to be possible. 14-13 instead, and Heroic, they take the lead. And they get to keep that economy alive even further.
Big's had plenty of chances in this game, too. That's going to be the real thing. The real conversation for them is they had their opportunities to really bury Heroic, and they just couldn't find the solution. And now that Heroic's back into it, now that they've got money, they get the advantages back in control. And Keto even coming through, not just looking along the wall. Sometimes tough turning through smoke, obviously. And you're already trying to clear top hut. You're trying to clear rafters, all the different angles in the upper bomb site. And the free kill was right in front of you the whole time.
13-14, and it's Big that run out of money. What a heartbreaking game this is going to be either way. Cadian out here with the AWP. The smoke wall is making it difficult to find anyone, but they don't have almost anything to work with here. Now, they've had some shocking rounds in the past, Big, with just the pistols, but how do you get this one? All 5 of them down below.
The one benefit they got at the moment is that it's just Tessus down here. Shush can arrive pretty quickly off contact or off any kind of a sound cue. But if they can eliminate Tessus with any kind of speed, maybe you can swarm in.
Yeah, it is doable. Shush might be too far away to really get there in time, even though he's at the ramp. Man, they need an early kill on him. There's the opening door. That's the giveaway. Good double for Tessus. That slows it down and gives a little bit of time. Shush showing up at the same exact moment. And Faven on his own. No bomb plant going to be allowed this time. Looked like it could have been dangerous, but it'll be 15 on the side of Heroic.
Got to give props over to him. Super impressive the way they've hung in this game. As you said, a bunch of risky, sketchy force buys throughout this second half. They've been playing a lot of rounds that if they lose, their money just disappears. And still been able to overcome the pressure. 2 chances to close it out, and Heroic would like to just get it done and move on.
I'm sure they do not want to play overtime.
This has been stressful.
Quite the battle. Best of 1 game, but we're getting everything we want here. Tessus up at 22 kills, right behind Cadian at 23, so they've got a bit of a duo going on there. What do Big have for us in this round? tabseN is out by that same box that he's been finding a lot of openings by earlier. This time, smoke, and he's going to run straight for it. So he's got a pretty forward position early on. That's not bad. Cadian almost eclipsing one of them there, but he finds 2 and puts the bullet right in between them. Faven with a nice kill on that Galil.
Something to work with for Big. They've got lobby control. They have a 5-on-4. They have yard control as well. Shush missed the initial salvo. Finds a double kill. Brings it right back. Dinked. And now Stown down the vents. He can wait patiently for his time to pounce.
Yeah, if Crimbo gets this kill, it's possible that Stown's going to be there with a really fast flank, so they could be in a little bit of trouble here. 50 seconds on the clock. Shush is very low, and oh, the timing is disgusting. He's going to get that one, but surely traded immediately. And that's the bomb down on the ground now. Lot of trouble here. 2 versus 3. And Big, like you said, they had many chances to put Heroic out of this match and win it right away, but they kept hanging in there with the economy, and now it's Big trying to hang on to the game. Tessus nearly escaping there. Bomb being stopped by the Molotov. He's going to have to go pick it up. 20 seconds. They need this. Searson trying to get his hands on it. Going to go and get the challenge. He takes one, but there's a return. And this might not be winnable. 12 seconds on the clock, and I don't think Keto could do anything about it. The bomb is behind him. Yeah. Oh, no. This is absolutely heartbreaking. What a way to lose it at the end. Heroic
Don't die.
will find 16 at the end. Nothing that Big could do about it.
It's the last round.
Yeah.
What am I talking about? Even I'm lost a little bit.
Oh, there's been so much. It's just so confusing at the end. They could have won this one, Big.
Yeah, they
had
could have.
the economic lead for like 5 or 6 rounds in a row.
Yeah, they did. Like I said, they had their chances, and there's been just a few T rounds where it felt like in the mid rounds, things just fell stale.
Yeah.
Like they just stopped on the map, and they didn't really have any plan moving forward. I think that one's going to be real heartbreaking when they go back and watch it and see kind of some of the rounds that were probably in their favor to some degree.
Yeah, good game that they put together, but in the end, it just wasn't enough. And Heroic, they get to live through it. Some 4 spies, and let's hear from them what they have to say.
That's certainly the right words there, Anders. Live through it, because that was an intense game. A lot of back and forth in that one. Down a bit of a tough comeback.
Yeah, I mean, it's always fun to play like the first official game after a player break. It's a bit more jitters and stuff like that. But I feel like we had a good T side. On the CT side, we didn't play like we usually do, I would say. But yeah, we managed to close in the end, and intense game, I should say.
That's what matters, though, right? Getting to close it at the end. But what was going through the kind of the mind of the team, and what was Cadian saying when it was getting back and forth? Because no one was really able to string rounds together.
Yeah, it was a weird game. Like, no one could string down together, I should say. I mean, we just tried to keep calm and keep composure. We know what Big likes to do, and yeah, we just tried to play our best.
Now, right, the next team you're going to be facing is going up against FaZe Clan. You've got a little bit of time in between all of this, though. How do you feel about going against the #1 team in the world? Do you feel like this little warm-up was a nice bump into it, and you feel like you'd be ready?
Yeah, I feel like this was a nice warm-up game. I'm looking forward to play FaZe. They're definitely maybe the best team in the world, I would say, at the moment. So yeah, it's going to be a fun game.
And how do you think it's going to be any different to the previous times you faced off against, especially now with Yabi, right? It seems to be certainly a lot better than what we saw in Cologne.
Yeah, I mean, we've gotten more practice in with Yabi, which is really nice. We feel more comfortable than we did at Cologne. And yeah, I mean, it's the best of 1 against FaZe. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it. Thank you very much, Dan. Good luck.
The Danes do get it done, but not exactly unscathed, gentlemen, because that was a scrappy affair, to say the least, versus Big.
Yeah, it was extremely scrappy. It came down to a couple of clutches. Of course, we're going to dissect a few examples down the road in that segment, but Heroic had to sweat for it. That wasn't easy in any case, and that's pretty much what we expected, right? A tough game?
Yeah, I'd say so. 2 teams who are equal in skill level, equal in their approach as well. We talked about Heroic, how they had their own way of approaching the game. You know, they seem to be like a very structured unit where everyone is knowing what they're doing each round. The same could be said about Big, you know, a very structured unit with Tapson leading the guys. So we got to see a good game of Counter-Strike, a long game of Counter-Strike as well. 16-13, the game took an hour and 15 minutes. All the time much were being used. So as you said, they really had to sweat for it. A game that easily could have gone into overtime.
You were talking about the sort of characteristics of both sides of the equation coming into things, and we heard it just in the winner's interview there from Heroic. They weren't exactly feeling too comfortable, you know, coming off the break. This is the first time we're seeing both of these squads kind of taking to the server. Wasn't exactly the sort of cleanest Counter-Strike that we would have expected.
No, it wasn't, but it wasn't in any camp of the equation, Faya. That's the thing. When you come back from a break, I think you end up in situations where positionally you would think a team would convert around. You think Heroic would have that 5v3 on that 4v2, but because you miss some of these 60-40 kills, then suddenly it opens up the whole situation. I think the casters, Anderson Moses, were surprised in a couple of events where someone had the drop on his opponent. But yeah, that's the first game after the break where we were all not exactly precise in our ways, and suddenly a round just turned on its head.
Well, let's go back to the beginning of this game, because we do have an equal play for round number 6. And this was some of a really good T-look from Heroic.
A very crafty round coming out of Cadian and Heroic. I want to give them props right here. You can see the time, that's important, 35 seconds. They take ramp, they trade kills. But again, they have a chronological pressure on them, and Cadian is going to have to find a solution. We also have to salute the patience of Stone, whom we see through that with the X-ray, not giving away his life. He's low HP, he knows he has to bide his time before he strikes. Surson misses a kill, obviously like a pack of wolf, they strong on it, and now Stone comes and he punishes Tapson, who was ready for him. 12 seconds now. Portkito's trying his very best, but he's not going to be able to do it. That was Cadian coming in here with a very tailored solution with 30 seconds left.
But it went both ways, and that's part of the story as well. We saw Heroic win the first pistol round, lose the second force by coming into the big. Second half as well, we see Heroic win the pistol round. They almost lost the second round one more time. time. As you described it, Freya, it was a scrappy game of Counter-Strike, but it went both ways. Both teams were really putting in a fight to it, and sometimes, yeah, we can argue that the scrappy CS come from teams not really winning the duels or playing as, I guess, as clean and structured as you like to. But sometimes when you have two teams who are equally good, just going toe-to-toe against each other, pressuring each other, you're bound to have scrappy rounds. You're bound to have rounds that are going to dive back from one side to another. And that's kind of what we saw in this game.
Yeah, and another example from that, we do have to bring up that incredible Sisson clutch, because they say silence is golden. It certainly was for Sisson coming into this particular round. Just incredibly well played from him.
I thought this could have been it for Heroic, right? You look at his scoreboard right here, 12-11. It's a very, very important moment in the game, and everything is just falling apart, unfortunately, for the Heroic guys right here. Sisson gets into a 1v2 situation. The bomb has been planted, and look at how he's positioning himself. I don't know why Heroic is not aware that he's potentially in this position, that he potentially could be towards side, but no one is checking Sisson, and he actually ends up winning this clutch without firing his gun, at least killing anyone in this scenario, because it's not really needed. And maybe that's one of the things for Sisson that we've been describing a little bit, the fact that he as a player on LAN, maybe not, you know, as clinical as he is online, but in terms of positioning himself, in terms of playing smart Counter-Strike, he still got it.
Yeah, no, it was an incredibly good look from Sisson. We saw what went on in the server, but I do want to also hear what went on in the TeamSpeak with this mic'd up moment.
Ich hab's weg.
Double doors, ich leg durch.
Down. Ich hab Sink. Sink down.
Double Door noch einer.
Double doors, double doors.
Zwei.
Double Door. Links und rechts.
Keine Zeit.
Nein! Krass, Ische, Alter. Codes Eis, Mann. Codes Eis.
I love that, the calm before the storm of the reactions from the side of Big. You were saying, Jacob, it was maybe a miscommunication from Heroic, though, that Sisson kind of was left on the side.
It's hella messy. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm going to give credit to Sisson and how he played that 1 versus 2. That was very creative, good mindset. But we're on a 4 versus 3 with 10 seconds left before that situation ensues. kjyan is hiding behind the door. He has 10 seconds to put the bomber down, and we have another CT player just offering his life from single. This is how these clutches happen, and this is why it's messy, as we said. Heroic should have never been in that situation. They should have won it nice and easy, clean, 12-12, but they made life a little bit harder for themselves.
It must have been miscommunication. There was nothing
or
in
stress,
the clip.
Yeah, or panic or something like that.
Stress, one of the things, right? Nothing in the clip we just saw, and I guess from an outside perspective, it's always easy to say, it doesn't make sense whatsoever here, Heroic, but nothing suggested to me that there wasn't a possibility for Sisson to be in this position. So you'd assume one of the players in Heroic have called him towards the other side of the map, and that's why they didn't attest him. That's why they didn't really thought that it was a possibility for him to be in that position. But as you said, cold as ice from Sisson, he took the opportunity, he made the most out of it.
Yeah, great to see him making those plays on LAN as well. Matthew, you were saying, though, we were kind of maybe forward into thinking that might be it for Big. That might be the momentum they need to be closing this map out. What happened for Heroic to then be swinging back into this one?
I think Moses did a very good job at the cast to highlight it. kjyan realized that Big was mostly playing throughout the outside, and they started taking so much map control every goddamn round. Every time they were pushing towards inner, every time they were scraping away the map control from Big. And so kjyan just knew what was going to happen. We saw a couple of times the Lurker tried to find the best out of the flankers, but he couldn't. It was always CT-sided in the lobby, and you just constrict all the solutions. Also, big props to tabseN, who I think had a very good start of his T-half, but as soon as he began being silent, I think with him came down the solutions of Big.
That was the problem for me as well, because that's exactly what worked in the beginning of the first half. tabseN on Yard, you know, creating chaos for Big and really putting a dent into what Heroic wanted to do. But unfortunately for tabseN, who finished first half with 18 kills, he didn't really pick up the pace in the second half. And to me, that's also a bit of a problem when you look towards Big. Was that too one-dimensional? Did they only have one thing on the T side that actually worked out? Because whenever they tried to go inside, whenever they tried to hit ramp lane in the round, it didn't work whatsoever for Big. So kinda, again, you know, left a little bit disappointed, but then again, first game after the season, so it's way, way too early to judge anything.
Yeah, despite Big narrowly losing out to the Danes on this map of Nuke, we do have a few thoughts from Crimbo after that game.
Crimbo, opening game here certainly wouldn't have gone the way that you guys would have wanted it to, but obviously Keo's just come back in. There's a lot of change, right? I spoke to you just before about some of your roles changing as well. How comfortable did you guys feel in that game? Because it was so close and there was a lot of just like back and forth. No one was even stringing rounds together.
Yeah, I mean, it's like not really much changed in the team. It's nice to be back having tournaments and stuff like this. It's the first game of the season. Everything was a bit rusty, I would say. And even on the CT side, if we get a few more rounds or some small mistakes happened on the T side. If they don't happen, I believe we win this game. So, but we look forward to. I really like this new blast system, like that you have one more chance to win versus EG now, and then we can face Heroic or face again. So it's nice to not be out soon.
And just to explain to you, right, because a lot of players talk to me about like rust and just coming back in after obviously the player break. Obviously, when you practice, that's one thing. But what's it feel like when you sit down for the first time and going into official? Like, what do you notice where you're like, oh, okay, look, you're getting back into the vibe, I guess.
Yeah, like I kinda when it started, I kinda felt like, oh, okay, this is how it felt like a few months ago, and the whole team chemistry was on another level. Like on practices, it was 10 times better. And yeah, it's we're getting into it.
That's what it's all about. Now, when you're getting into it, right, the next opponent is going to be EG. Obviously, this team is hard to even prepare for, and it's what Big like to do as well. But do you think a team like that at the moment, the position they're in, you can just play your own game solidly and kind of just out-aim them? Because obviously, they've not really had success in recent times, no matter what roster they field.
Yeah, as you said, it's hard to prepare, but we're just gonna play our style, our defaults and stuff like this. And yeah, I mean, our style, like, really doesn't matter if it's a team who we don't know who's playing. It just it can fit everybody. And yeah, we're just gonna focus on us. As you said, we don't have anything from them, but it's no problem, I would say.
Confident as ever?
Of course.
That's my man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, as Crimbo correctly said, of course, this doesn't spell elimination for Big. This is simply seeding heading into next week's elimination gauntlet, though. But it is incredibly important to see where they will be placing in terms of this group, because that depends on how deep they will be going into the gauntlet and how many chances they will have for survival and to take a place at the 4 finals. Going back to the group graphic that we just saw earlier, though, from a one close game to not a very close game earlier on in the day, FaZe pretty much dominating EG.
Yeah, absolutely. FaZe were very much dominant. There wasn't really a game in that instance. I think EG needed, about 19 rounds to put an actual gun rounds on the board. They struggled massively. They had a couple of pistols, a couple of gimmicky rounds out there, but the talent for FaZe, as we see on cameras, was just way superior than EG. Brokey had a field day. He, man, I wish I could do what Brokey does with the AWP sometimes.